2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with the 4.0. Almost 356,000. So pretty low miles. Kidding. But I got the Maxxis Ultra hooked up. This is actually my vehicle here. So the engine light's on. I've been meaning to address it for a while, but I'm into the engine computer, the PCM. I go to trouble codes, and it's got 456 evap leak. So I'll address that another time, but probably vacuum lines under here, or going to the LDP, the leak detection pump under here. So I'll take a look at that sometime. But what I'm concerned with is the P0161 and the P0158 oxygen sensor 2.2, bank 2, sensor 2. So it's the back 3 cylinders, because it's a 6-cylinder inline 6. So the first 3 are bank 1, second 3 are bank 2. So it's the back 3 cylinders are bank 2, and it's the sensor after the catalytic converter. It says oxygen sensor heater failure, and oxygen sensor shorted to voltage. So that should be a real quick check. Believe the connectors are underneath. We're gonna have to get under there and look. Not on the lift today, but we'll make it work where we're at. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up some data on this, service data, and see what we can figure out. But we can actually, I'm gonna clear these codes here, so there's no fault code to read them again. Sorry about the glare. You go to system check. You can hit oxygen heater test. This will just turn the heater on through the relay. We'll pull up in the schematics. But I can go to 2.2. When I do it, you'll hear it click in the relay box. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. Try it again. Go and get this right here. There's the relay for the L2 sensor. Try to put the camera here wide. Right, click it or turn it on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on right now. Should have heard it turn on. Then I turned it off. So we can use that to help troubleshoot. But if I go back to see if there's any codes, sure I threw my codes again. Yeah. Know why it's still in the 456 when we haven't actually done its test, but the heater element's not working, right? So we're just gonna do some real quick checks, power, grounds, wire integrity, pull up the schematics on the service data, and then we'll go from there. All right, so what I got now, pull the schematics for it. So oxygen sensor 2.2, bank 2 downstream. There's the heater element. This is what's reading your oxygen content, which I don't care about, but the heater element, according to the code definition, it's not heating up anyways. So it's got to get to a certain temperature. It's just going to a chassis ground 104. And then voltage comes up from Z, connector 104, AW3026. So you go to AW3026. Z comes up here, 40, connector 104 comes up. There's the relay we heard turn it on. So the 12 volts comes down here. The computer controls the ground, sucks the relay over, lets 12 volts in. So what I'm going to check is the continuity across this heater element and see if it's got any continuity. So I got my VCMI hooked up, Wi-Fi connected to my scan tool tablet. I'm going to go into my multimeter. It's going to connect to a Wi-Fi. And then I'm going to go to, I just wanted digital mode. You can go waveform, you can go digital and waveform, but I just want digital. I'm going to go to resistance, resistance, amplitude setting. I'm going to do, I guess we can just do auto. And then we can calibrate it. Basically get all the resistance. Put the 2 leads together and hit confirm, and it takes the zeros it out from the leads, I guess, is what we can do. That's my daughter Laura. Let me hook these two together and we'll calibrate it. So I got the leads plugged into each other. And like I said, all that does is just gives a zeroes it off from the leads, which I'm not really concerned with, but I'll do it anyway. So I'll hit confirm and zeroing it out, calibrating it. Calibration successful. So now we're going to go ahead and hook our leads up and go from there. You can see there's 0 ohms when they're plugged in. When I unplug them, it should go to OL, which it does. Well, I got the leads hooked up. So if you come down here, of course my light just died. Anyways, there's a connector, and I'm going off the connector. I'm pointing to it there. That's the connector going to the oxygen sensor behind the cat for the bank 2. It's the white wires coming off of it's always a heater circuit. Got them probed in. Back to my multimeter. And if you look, they're hooked up, but I got a well, it's starting to read a little bit. Like it's basically an open circuit, which is why the heater's not turning on. So what it needs is, it needs a new O2 sensor. So we'll get a new O2 sensor put on the lift. That'll fix this issue for this 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee with the 4.0. Alrighty, I'm gonna do one more check. Got the DMM hooked back up for voltage, DC voltage. But this time I'm checking on the vehicle side of the harness. So I got my AES wave breakout leads plugged in to the heater circuit. So if you look here, one lead to here for ground, the other lead coming from power, should get 12 volts when the key on, engine running. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it, and then we should have voltage on that. That'll prove our wire integrity up to the L2 sensor is good. We already found the problem. It's a bad L2 sensor heater element, but we'll check it since we're here just to make sure the wire integrity up to it is good. So I just started it, it's running. We got alternator battery voltage, so we're good. So power and grounds are good to it. Definitely needs a new L2 sensor. Ain't bad, it's the original one for 356,000 miles. So now, I know NTK makes the L2 sensors for these, it's like NGK for spark plugs, but NTK makes the L2 sensors. Jeep doesn't make the OE ones, NTK does. You can get an NTK one instead of the Jeep one, which is, it's not Jeep, it's just Jeep puts their name on it. But you can save a lot of money just by buying the NTK brand, because it's the same exact thing that Jeep puts in there. Of course, they make more money on it because they put their name on it. Jeep does. So, and I would not use an aftermarket L2 sensor because, like a Bosch one on these, because it'll cause issues. There's a timer basically. It needs to get warm within a certain amount of time, according to the Mode 6 data. The reason I learned that because I've tried that before on this Jeep with the one before the Cat. A Bosch one will not work. You want to go with the original OE one. So we'll get an OE O2 sensor, put it in, do our checks. And that'll be it for this 2003 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with the 4.0.